Yo, what's up guys? It's Noah here, and in today's video, we're going to be talking through some player props I like on Prizepicks for this week's Thursday Night Football game for Week 16. We got a pretty interesting matchup this Thursday night between the Chargers and the Broncos. These are two teams that have been big surprises this season. I don't think anyone expected either one of these two teams to have the records that they do. I think the Chargers are 8-6 this year. The Broncos are 9-5. These teams have been playing well. They've been a lot better than I think people expected. And this is a big time game because these two teams are fighting for a spot in the playoffs. They're fighting for a spot in the wild card. So we'll see how this game plays out. I've got two player props that I do like for this game that we're going to break down and discuss in this video. Before we do that, as always, if you guys do enjoy these Prizepicks videos, if they help you out, make sure to hit that like button down below. Hit that subscribe button as well. And if you guys are new to the channel, if you are new to Prizepicks, you don't have an account over there, sign up for Prizepicks. Use promo code NOAH when you do. When you sign up and place your first lineup, you play a $5 lineup, Prizepicks is going to give you $50 instantly in promo funds that you can use and potentially win any money off of. So make sure to go sign up for Prizepicks, guys. Use that code NOAH when you do. And then I also do want to shout out Sleeper because we do have a partnership with Sleeper as well. And Sleeper is also running a new promo for new users. It's their play $5, get $55, play 5, get 55. So this replaces their deposit match bonus. Typically, Sleeper would match your first deposit up to $100. You put in $100, they give you an additional $100 to play with. You put up $50, they give you an additional $50. Then they did a limited time promo where they ran a deposit match bonus up to $1,500. So like you put in $1,500, they'd give you $1,500 to play with. Well, now their newest promo for new users is play $5, get $55 instantly. This definitely caters more towards people who don't have larger bankrolls, who only want to put in the minimum deposit, which I think on Sleeper, the minimum deposit is $25. So you sign up, use code NOAH, put in $25. You play a $5 lineup. Even if you lose that, Sleeper is going to give you $55 worth of free lineups that you can use to play and potentially win any money off of. So really, you don't even have to put in a bunch of money into this. You can just put in the minimum, play that $5 lineup, and then get those $55 worth of free lineups. This is available for all new users over on Sleeper. So go check them out if you guys have not yet, and make sure that when you sign up for Sleeper, use that promo code NOAH so you do get access to this promotion. And for those of you that don't know what Sleeper is, they're a DFS pick'em app, very similar to Prizepicks. You pick more or less on player projections. You build out an entry. You can win up to 100x your money on Sleeper. You can make up to an 8-pick entry. It's a lot of fun. You guys should definitely be playing over there. And again, use that code NOAH when you do sign up for Sleeper. Now let's go ahead and discuss the Prizepicks plays that I'm liking for this Thursday Night Football game, guys. We got two props that we're going to break down. Both the props I'm liking in this game are going to be receiving yards props. So the first play I'm liking is Courtland Sutton, and we're going to take Courtland Sutton for more than 63.5 receiving yards. So if you look at Courtland Sutton's recent games lately, he had been playing really, really well prior to last week. He did struggle last week against the Colts, only had 32 receiving yards in that game, but he saw a bunch of targets. He had 9 targets, just was really inefficient with the targets that he got. And I think part of that could have been due to the wind. So that game against the Colts last week was played in Denver. It was pretty windy in Denver last Sunday. The winds, I think, were like 15 to 20 miles per hour sustained with gusts over 30. The wind did wind up kind of tailing off towards the end of the game, but it was definitely windy to start the game, and I think that kind of had an effect on the passing game. We don't really have to worry about any weather concerns here. This game's going to be played in LA, in SoFi Stadium. I think SoFi has a dome. I'm not 100% sure, but either way, it's in LA, and there's really never bad weather in LA. So we don't have to worry about weather for this game here. It's going to be good conditions. And Courtland Sutton, he has been just on a tear prior to that game against the Colts. He had had at least 8 targets and I believe 6 straight games or 7 straight games. He put up a stinker. He put up a donut in their Thursday Night Football game against the Saints, and really ever since then, Courtland Sutton has just been getting peppered with targets. 11, 10, 9, 8, 10, 9, and 9 targets over their last 7 games. He's over this receiving yards line in 6 out of those 7. Obviously, the game he went under was last week against the Colts, but I think that could have been due to the weather. Also, Bo Nix was not great as a passer last week. I mean, he only threw for 130 yards. It's going to be hard for Courtland Sutton to get 64 yards when Bo Nix only throws for 130 yards. I would definitely expect a bounce-back performance from the Broncos passing game overall here. I mean, Bo Nix's pass yards prop is set at 223.5. I'm pretty confident that when Bo Nix goes over 223.5 yards, you probably see Courtland Sutton go over his yards too. You could correlate those plays together, Nix over with Sutton over, but on Prizepicks, they have set it now to where it really will deduct your payout for doing correlation stacks like that. But there's ways you can play around with it to still get good payouts for correlation. But I do like this play on Sutton quite a bit. I think this is a really good bounce back spot for Courtland Sutton. He's just demanding a lot of volume in this Broncos offense. And you look outside of Courtland Sutton, this Broncos team does not have a lot of pass catchers who are going to demand a lot of volume. Like Devon Vele has been a guy that typically gets like 3-4 targets a game. Marvin Mims is really just a deep play guy. He's not a guy that gets peppered with targets. Typically, he sees a couple targets a game, and then it's just kind of spread around with Lil Jordan Humphrey, Troy Franklin. None of these guys are high volume receivers. Sutton is a high volume receiver. He's been a high volume receiver really all season for this Denver team. He's been Bo Nix's clear top target. And in a pretty decent matchup, I think, against the Chargers. I think the Chargers are coming into this game with some injuries to their secondary. This could be a really good spot for Courtland Sutton. I do like him for more than 63.5 receiving yards. And I was looking at DraftKings Sportsbook. DraftKings Sportsbook actually has Sutton's receiving yards prop set at 65.5. So we're getting a slightly lower line on Prizepicks. I know it's only a 2-yard difference, but you'd be surprised how often those 2 yards can make it or break it for you. The 2 yards can be the difference between winning and losing. So like this play on Sutton, more than 63.5 receiving yards. And then the other prop that I like to pair with that is going to be Kamani Vidal. And we're going to take Kamani Vidal for more than 10.5 receiving yards. So it's hard to really look at Kamani Vidal's season-long stats because he just hasn't been playing a lot this season because he's been their third-string running back. But with J.K. Dobbins injured, they're using Kamani Vidal a lot more. And if you look at the last 2 games without J.K. Dobbins, or excuse me, the last 3 games without J.K. Dobbins, we've seen Kamani Vidal's snaps increase each week. So the first week, which was week 13, that the Chargers didn't have J.K. Dobbins, Vidal played on 26% of the snaps. Then the week after that, he played on 53% of the snaps. Last week, Vidal played a season-high 67% of the snaps. Really, the Chargers are only going to use 2 running backs. They're going to use pretty much just Vidal and Gus Edwards. Hassan Haskins did play 1 snap last week, but I don't think Hassan Haskins is going to be involved. He'll be active, most likely, for emergency situations, but I don't think he's going to really take touches away from Vidal. So it's really just Vidal and Gus Edwards as the 2 running backs that are going to be used for the Chargers. And Gus Edwards has been really bad this year. He's been super inefficient as a runner. He's also not a guy that they really use in the passing game at all. Like Gus Edwards really doesn't catch passes at all. This season, he has a total of 2 catches for 3 yards the entire season. So we can expect in passing situations for Kamani Vidal to be the guy on the field. And if you look at last week, really in his first kind of full game, getting a full complement of snaps, he did see 3 targets last week, had 1 catch or 2 catches, I believe. Let me pull it up just to confirm that. So yeah, last week he had 3 targets, 2 catches for 13 yards. He's shown ability as a pass catcher. He's not really played a lot this season because obviously they haven't needed to use him. But now with the injury to J.K. Dobbins, we're seeing Kamani Vidal play more on the offensive, from an offensive perspective. He's just on the field more. And when he's on the field more, that should result in him getting opportunity in the passing game because he's definitely a good pass catcher. He's a much better pass catcher than Gus Edwards is. And in third downs and 2-minute drills, you should expect to see Kamani Vidal on the field getting opportunity in the passing game. And I was looking at DraftKings Sportsbook. He's minus 145. Kamani Vidal is for over 1.5 receptions. If Kamani Vidal gets 2 receptions, which he's favored to do, I think we got a pretty good chance of him getting 11 receiving yards. He could still go over this line, though, even if he only gets 1 catch, because Vidal has shown big playability as a pass catcher. There was a game earlier this year. He only had 2 catches, but for 40 yards. He had 1 catch for 9 yards against Arizona. Last week, 2 catches for 13 yards. He should be using the passing game a good amount here. I think there's a very good chance he outsnaps Gus Edwards in this game. Even if this is a game where the Chargers are playing with the lead, which I don't know if that'll be the case. Even if the Chargers are playing with the lead here, I think we still will see Kamani Vidal on the field a good amount, and he'll still be on the field in those third downs, in those passing situations, 2-minute drills, stuff like that. So I like him for more than 10.5 receiving yards as our second prop for Thursday night, guys. So these are 2 props we're rolling with for Thursday night's game. Also did want to mention, this is a pretty good matchup for Vidal as well, because if you look at what the Broncos have allowed to running backs this season in the passing game, they're top 10 in targets, receptions, and receiving yards allowed to running backs this year. And if you look at what running backs have done against the Broncos, like pass catching running backs, I mean, Kareem Hunt had 7 catches for 65 yards. Justice Hill had 3 catches for 43 yards. Miles Sanders had 7 catches for 38 yards. Amir Abdullah, 5 catches for 37 yards. Samaje Perine, 2 catches for 37 yards. Bijan, 4 for 28. Derrick Henry had 27 receiving yards against Denver. Derrick Henry really doesn't ever catch passes. You had 2 catches for 24 yards for Nick Chubb, another guy that doesn't really ever catch passes. So, like, even guys like Derrick Henry, Nick Chubb, guys that don't really get the ball thrown to them a lot, they were still able to rack up yards through the air against this Denver team. Vidal should definitely see at least a couple targets here, and if that's the case, he should have a good chance at going over 10.5 receiving yards. So that's what I like, guys. 2 props for Thursday Night Football for this Chargers and Broncos game. We're going to take Courtland Sutton for more than 63.5 receiving yards, and we're going to pair that with Kamani Vidal more than 10.5 receiving yards. If you guys are going to tell me on these 2 plays for Thursday night, let's try and go 2-0 here, hit both these plays for this game. As always, appreciate you guys watching these Prizepicks videos, supporting the content. Make sure you hit that like button down below. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button as well. And if you guys are new to the channel, if you are new to Prizepicks, go sign up for Prizepicks. Use promo code NOAH when you do. And when you place your first lineup, you'll get $50 in promo funds instantly added to your account. Make sure to go sign up for Prizepicks if you have not yet. But good luck tonight. Thanks for watching, guys. We will see you in the next video.